It's 100 days away. Are you ready for the start of Y2K?
North Little Rock police officers may be cashing in at the new Alltel Arena.
Things didn't go as planned at this demolition site. You'll find out why.
And her story is one of courage and strength. Hear it in our THV Extra.
From Arkansas's fastest growing news station, you're watching 11 on 11, the THV 10 o'clock difference.
Good evening. 100 days, 1 hour and 59 minutes until the year 2000. I'm Dawn Scott.
And I'm Andy Pearson. The U.S. Senate panel, the Y2K panel, says the federal government is ready for the new millennium. Lawmakers say air traffic control systems are Y2K compliant, as well as major electric companies. And banks will have plenty of money. And there should be no major problems when the clock strikes midnight on January 1st. But the government is warning we may have a few inconveniences. They say some local 911 systems may not be totally prepared.
While many have been working all year to get ready for any potential problems, how seriously are most people taking it? Well, Carolina Boyd joins us live from the newsroom with some answers to that. Carolina.
Well, Dawn, you can just look around and find several reminders of the number of days left until the new millennium. And with all the publicity about Y2K, you'd think everyone would be worried. But today I found out differently. Y2K.
You're not worried at all about this, are you? Why should I be?
Y2K has been a hot topic all this year. With 100 days left until the start of the new millennium, a surprisingly large number of people are confident that Y2K's bark will be much larger than its bite.
I don't buy more stuff than what I usually do buy. It's, food and everything. I don't know, I just gonna have to take it day by day, I guess.
Our business is all ready to rock and roll as far as being at home. We haven't done a darn thing.
Hopefully the computer will go out and when I can have some peace without the computer for a little while. So I don't know that it would be so bad for it to be gone for a little while.
Most concerns about the millennium bug deal with the banking systems. However, many people say a little preparation there goes a long way.
You keep a small amount of money out of the bank, and you leave everything else alone because it's going to be a small problem, but not a great big problem.
While Y2K is feared by some, others say, don't worry.
Our ancestors were okay before technology came along. If we can't survive now, then something's wrong with us.
Most say it probably won't be the end of the world. Many we spoke to say if there is a concern about Y2K, it's about how others will react to it. So just to be on the safe side, they say they're stocking up on extra items like water and food just to be prepared.
So did anybody give you any idea about exactly what they'd be doing when the clock strikes 12?
Well, I think a lot of people are going to be staying home out of concern again about what other people are doing. Everyone thinks they can handle the situation pretty well, but when it comes to other people, well, they're not so sure.
All right, Carolina, thanks. There is a lot more news still to come in the next 9 minutes tonight. North Little Rock police officers are training for extra cash. Charter schools may soon be a reality for Arkansas students, and the federal government is taking on the tobacco industry.
Now, Arkansas's first view weather with meteorologist Ed Buckner.
Now, even though our temperatures have cooperated quite a bit, we still need a little bit of rainfall. Actually, we need a lot of rainfall. Have not had any in several days, and tonight live view radar continues on the dry side. Of course, there aren't any clouds out there either, so another dry night, another dry day tomorrow. First of all, tonight's forecast under those clear skies and calm winds now. Temperature will continue to fall to about 50 degrees, many locations into the upper 40s. Tomorrow's high, once again, a little bit warmer than today. 81 degrees and the winds out of the southwest at 10 miles an hour. We'll look at the extended outlook in a little bit and maybe, hopefully, get a little rain in here. More in just a little bit.
All right, thanks, Ed. North Little Rock police officers are looking to pad their pockets legally at the Alltel Arena. At each event, anywhere from 5 to 40 off-duty officers will be on hand helping with security. And for them, this extra hour means extra money. Our Bobby Sisk is live at the arena. Bobby, North Little Rock officers have been watching Little Rock police get these gravy jobs. Now they get a shot.
That's right, Andy. Little Rock has, of course, War Memorial and Barton Coliseum, been packing crowds there for years. Now 150 North Little Rock officers are ready to spend their time off on duty at this new show place on their side of the river.
The sign's in place. Landscaping takes center stage. North Little Rock Electric powering this place. North Little Rock Police planning to help secure it.
See, really, we're going to let him run in traffic.
Before working out here, every officer must go through 8 hours of training in here. A classroom lesson on the entire layout, inside and out. On the floor, the days are numbered. Ask these guys, there is no rest. Detective Jeff Witonski is ready to work off-duty patrol.
It's going to be a good opportunity financially for the police.
Here, the opportunity will pay more than $20 an hour. The arena has hired an in-house private security firm from California, but it's the Arkansas officers with the power to arrest that also play an integral role. Sergeant Jim Scott says everybody wins, the public and the police. There will be at least 2 events here a week.
Basically 2 nights a week, there's going to be anywhere from 20 to 40 officers that we never had on the streets before.
Officers being paid by the Alltel Arena.
Through that avenue, I mean, there's no cost to the taxpayers.
Their task, controlling some 15 to 18,000 people, depending on the day or night. Jeff Witonski feels he is up to the challenge. After all, he and the other officers aren't volunteering. There is some incentive to be here.
A little extra money never hurts.
This place built with some security issues already in mind. There is rather clear visibility from the floor all the way up to the top seats, and also near the floor there are 2 holding cells. So Andy, like jail, if you get arrested here at the arena, you go into there before you're actually taken and processed at North Little Rock or Pulaski County. Also in training here, about 30 officers from Pulaski County also getting in on some of this off-duty work as well.
Hope they can help with the parking. Thanks, Bob.
Definitely.
OSHA will not take disciplinary action in connection with a deadly 4th of July fireworks explosion in Yell County. The Occupational Safety and Health Administration investigated the Centerville accident. It happened when a stray firework landed in a trailer containing more explosives. 13-year-old Josh Henderson, 14-year-old Brandon Mayberry, and 32-year-old Gary Newbold were killed. Hundreds of people were in the stands watching the display at the time.
New tonight at 10, 9 students taken to the hospital today after a woman ran into their school bus. It happened in Cedarville in Crawford County. The driver of the car told police she didn't see the bus until it was too late. She says the sun was in her eyes. It was this morning. Police say the 9 middle school students just had minor injuries. Charter schools one step closer to becoming reality in Arkansas. Today, the State Board of Education approved the regulations to govern them. Charter schools are publicly funded and operated under a performance contract with the state. Now, if they fail to live up to their contract, they could be shut down. Parents in favor of charter schools say they like that kind of accountability.
Because I would like for them to be able to have a choice of where they're going to go to school, and I would like for them to go to school here in Maumelle where I can be right there if they needed something. Because I work here and we live here, and I would like for them to be in school here.
Part of the regulations approved today will allow charter schools in religious facilities as long as any religious items are removed or covered up during school.
More than 4,000 students are still waiting for financial aid at UALR. We first told you 2 weeks ago about payment delays due to a new computer system at the campus. University officials say most of those delays are the result of student errors. Under the old system, foul-ups could be cleared up easily, but officials say employees are learning the new banner system, and students filing late or incorrectly are slowing things down.
That's a big problem for a lot of the students, is just trying to get that money in, and the systems seems like it's just so much going on. They get backed up a lot of times, and it's really hard to get what you need when you need it.
Some 3,400 students have received their money. Students waiting for payments are allowed, though, to attend class until their financial aid issues are resolved.
In today's health, some Arkansas researchers believe they found a way to make meats and poultry safer by fighting contaminations caused by bacteria like E. coli and salmonella. Today at UAMS, scientists unveiled a new product called Secure that could protect people from these deadly bacteria. Dr. Dan Lattin, the lead researcher, says this new technology has the potential to prevent most, if not all, foodborne contaminants.
Right. If the food has been treated with Secure or the acetylpyridinium chloride, we know that it will remove the microorganisms and prevent recontamination.
Dr. Lattin says this should help food companies and consumers feel safer about the food they eat.
The federal government is suing the tobacco industry. The government is accusing 8 big tobacco companies of knowingly marketing a hazardous product and lying about it. Attorney General Janet Reno says American taxpayers have footed the medical bills for millions of cigarette smokers. She says we've paid more than $20 billion per year. The Justice Department is trying to prove the cigarette companies lied about research, marketing nicotine to children, and developing a less addictive product.
This is not about banning a product. This is about stopping fraud. This is about stopping illegal behavior, and it's about getting compensation for it.
We will not succumb to politically correct extortion. We will not settle this lawsuit.
The tobacco companies say the federal government has known about the dangers of smoking for years and has warned people about the risks. The companies have already agreed to pay the state's $200 billion. Arkansas, by the way, is getting $1.6 billion of that money.
Well, the jury is still out on the trial of Lawrence Brewer, the white supremacist found guilty of dragging James Byrd, a black man, to his death last summer. Jurors deciding whether he should get death or life in prison. They've been deliberating for several hours. John King given the death penalty for the same crime earlier this year, and a third suspect will be tried in just a few months.
Today marked the end of a long misadventure for those traveling on a cruise in the Gulf. Some 1,700 passengers were excited to be back on shore after an engine on the Carnival cruise ship caught fire 3 nights ago. As you can see from this home video, the fire knocked out air conditioning and left travelers stranded in Tropical Storm Harvey with a flow of raw sewage on board. Carnival promises a full refund for all, along with a voucher for a free cruise.
Well, out in California, officials say lightning may have started it, and it may be weeks before it's out. Take a look at this fire in California. It's a tire fire, one of the largest tire disposal facilities here in the western U.S. There are about 7 million tires at this site alone. Firefighters say they can't put this one out, so they're digging trenches to keep it from spreading. They hope it'll burn itself out, but that could take weeks. This company turns tires into energy. They were cited, though, a few months ago for environmental violations.
Well, explosives are the easiest way to bring down an old building, but sometimes even the best plans go awry. Demolition crews tried to level a 140-foot tower at an old Owens Corning plant in New Jersey, but the implosion only brought down half of the tower. A large wall was left standing at an odd angle. Now they'll have to use a more cumbersome but sure method, knocking the rest of the building down with bulldozers.
She faced a deadly killer head-on and survived.
And she says her life now is better than ever. Find out what gave her the strength to fight in our THV Extra at 10:19 tonight. Ed Buckner's full forecast is next.
Named Best Newscast by the Associated Press. This is 11 on 11, the THV 10 o'clock difference. With Dawn Scott, Andy Pearson, Ann Jensen with a THV Extra. Weather with meteorologist Ed Buckner. And Brian Stewart on sports.
Well, just a couple of days until the race for the cure. Thousands of people keeping their fingers crossed for no rain, and it looks good.
It's a no-brainer.
Thousands?
Yeah.
Thousands of people?
Thousands and thousands.
Counting on good weather?
Yeah.
I'm getting nervous.
Trouble.
Not
Don't
be
be
nice.
nervous. It's a great forecast.
Yeah, it's going to be nice. No changes really other than a little bit warmer weather. Of course, it could be a lot more difficult having to have good weather for 20,000 runners and 20,000 angry women at me. Here's what's going on with the weather right now. We have one more day, actually just a few more hours actually, of summer. Thank goodness. I know a lot of people love summer. A lot of people love summer. I'm not one of them. I'm a winter person, and we're turning that corner. Summertime, of course, northern hemisphere tilted more towards the sun, so we get more of the sun's rays. We are about to enter into fall tomorrow morning at 6:31, so I'll be out there waving a banner or something. So it's finally arriving. And again, fall, the first day of fall, the first day of spring, that's when the equator pretty much on a line with the sunshine. We get about equal sunlight on both halves of the earth. And then, of course, in the wintertime, the southern hemisphere getting more of the sunshine, and we, of course, are cooling off even more. Okay, with that in mind, we look back at the United States. Not a whole lot going on. We do see more clouds building across the southwestern corner of the country. But other than that, not a whole lot to talk about. And it's all because of high pressure from Canada, which brought the cool air and now is going to bring some really cool air. The reason why centered right over us. Calm winds below that, and that will allow the temperature to fall. A little bit of unusual weather out here. These are the remnants of Hurricane Hillary in the Pacific. It moved into the Pacific Southwest, and now we're seeing these scattered showers and thunderstorms from Tucson, Arizona, all the way up to Salt Lake City, Utah. Temperature-wise, 50s and 60s across the Great Lakes region, 60s and 85 down in Phoenix, 74 in El Paso, 85 even with the cloud cover and the showers in southern Arizona. Temperature-wise, records 45 and 96, but normal is 62 and 81. 62 should be our low temperature. We were at 50 this morning, some places in the 30s in the northern counties. 77 was our high temperature from the Weather Service, Little Rock, and 79 here downtown. 53 was our morning low, too. 61 degrees now, humidity at 60%, the pressure at 30.09, and the winds are calm. Again, calm wind will help the temperature to fall maybe a couple of more degrees in some locations. Still 61 though in Little Rock. That's a couple of degrees warmer actually than it was last night. 53 in Russellville, 50 in Fayetteville, and last night they were at 40. So some places will not be as cool tonight, especially up here in northwest Arkansas. This batch of 50s from northeastern Oklahoma will extend all the way back to our north across Missouri. Tonight under clear skies, we'll go with 50, even though that last map said 40s for the entire state. Some of the higher elevations will not cool off as fast, but there will be plenty of upper 40s tonight with the calm winds. Tomorrow, 81. The wind will shift to the southwest at 10. So it's going to warm up about 31 degrees or so. Quite a temperature span, and here comes the extended outlook. No pressure as we head to the first day of fall and the race for the cure. Temperatures in the 80s, lows in the 50s, and lots of sunshine. Well, we are now almost 7 inches below normal on rain, so there is a serious part of that, and it doesn't look like that's going to change.
The first day of fall tomorrow.
6:31.
Wonderful.
You're going to be outside yelling and
mowing my lawn.
Mowing your lawn, finally.
I doubt that. Thank you, Ed.
Okay.
Well, her life dramatically changed when she learned she had breast cancer.
But Evelyn Menz had some special weapons to help fight the disease.
This is the strength that I cling to, that I'll cling to as we go through this.
More about her winning battle next in our THV Extra.
Today's THV is sponsored by Baptist Memorial Medical Center and by Chenal Properties.
The search for a cure for breast cancer takes on special meaning when the person diagnosed is a member of your family, one of your friends, or you. Tonight in our THV Extra, we introduce you to an incredible lady who has managed to keep her sense of humor through a very exhausting and emotional ordeal.
Bye, Mom.
Evelyn Menz is back in the game. A year ago, Evelyn's mammogram showed some calcifications. Doctors assured her it was nothing to worry about, but Evelyn knew something was wrong.
I just couldn't concentrate. There was just something in my mind. I felt this sort of fullness in my breast and just something that wasn't quite right.
There we go. Good girl. Mary Margaret, watch.
Doctors found 3 spots, all of them malignant. Evelyn did a lot of reading and soul searching and was surprised to find out how many other women she knew had been through the same thing.
Yeah, these women came out of the woodwork everywhere calling, I've had it, I've had it, I've had it. And every time someone said, I've had breast cancer and look where I am now, I thought, I was sort of on a platform, and it kept getting higher and higher and higher, and I thought, this is the strength that I cling to, that I'll cling to as we go through this.
Evelyn decided to have a mastectomy with immediate reconstruction.
And the surgery I had was called a tram flap reconstruction, where they take tissue from your abdomen and transfer it up into the breast area. It's magic. It's just magic. You get a tummy tuck in the deal.
Evelyn's sense of humor would help her get through 4 months of chemotherapy and the loss of her hair, which started falling out while she and her husband David were on a trip to Nashville.
And we stopped to get a few things to eat, and David said, you know, there's hair in my chicken fingers. There's hair in my Coke, Evelyn. We need to do something about this. And it was, you know, about to hear.
David took her to a nearby beauty shop for a new, much shorter do. She had taken a wig with her just in case and had worn it to dinner, but says it was very uncomfortable.
And then I got on the elevator and thought, I've got to get this wig off. And I took the wig off on the elevator. The door opened. There's a man standing there, and I just went, whoop, and I popped it back on my head.
Despite her surgery, chemo, and loss of hair, Evelyn says her life is now better than ever.
This day, for instance, it is so beautiful. And I feel that I think that I feel these gifts and blessings far more intensely than I did before this.
Evelyn says her family, especially husband David, is what kept her going.
He was just so steadfast, and we just had this positive attitude, and he was very loving, and we laughed a lot.
Yeah, we'll go sit right over here.
But there was a new relationship she also found to be strong.
The bond that you have with women after something like this is indescribable.
You'll see how strong that bond is in tomorrow night's THV Extra. In fact, they've come up with a term for that relationship. You'll hear what it is and see how it inspired a local artist in tomorrow night's THV Extra. Andy?
Good for her. Thanks, Dawn. Don't forget about our Race for the Cure special Friday night at 6:30. Ed and Ann will be live from the pasta party at the River Market. I'll be making sure that you don't get lost on race day. And we'll have information on some important changes taking place this year. So join us for the THV Race for the Cure special Friday night at 6:30. Now, there's a lot of fast folks on this race. There really is. You were in here last year, but
I wasn't here.
See that.
I'll be there.
Now, of course, Saturday afternoon's big.
Saturday is just a big day in general,
yes.
Andy, Dawn, because, of course, the Razorbacks are playing, and more people were worried about Clint Sterner. Would he be back? Well, he is back, and we'll tell you how he's feeling after his first workout today, coming up in sports.
Benton High School is hit by fire. Ken Hatfield leads the Hogs in Fayetteville, and floodwaters caused major damage in the capital city back in 1987. A THV 2000 mark in time.
Good evening, everyone. There is good news for Hog fans. Razorback quarterback Clint Sterner practiced today, and it was Sterner's first practice since injuring his shoulder in Saturday's win over Louisiana Monroe. Sterner's workout was brief, but it was encouraging sign that he will be ready for Saturday's game with Alabama. He admits that his throwing is not as good as normal right now, but says his shoulder feels much better since yesterday. And while he was pleased with his progress, Sterner isn't planning on rushing his rehabilitation.
Most of the pain, the soreness is more in the muscle type. It doesn't really hurt in the joint too much. But, you know, when it's in the muscle and stuff like that, you can work it out. The soreness will come out. So next 2 or 3 days should help it, and I'll be all right.
It's just good to see him out here and did some good things. We didn't let him throw, but very little. He threw the ball 15 yards or less early in practice. Felt good. And tomorrow he'll do a little bit more.
Now Houston's Hogs will be going up against a hungry bunch in Alabama. The Tide was knocked out of the top 25 after losing at home to Louisiana Tech on a last-second play. It depends on how you look at it, but that loss could either wake up Alabama or just knock any focus out of them. Crimson Tide coach Mike DuBose is under fire after the loss, and he's hoping his team bounces back from the heartbreaking defeat.
We'll learn from it and be a much better football team this Saturday. We need to be, should be, and have to be, because there's no question we're playing an outstanding football team in Arkansas. Houston and his staff have done a great job. They're fun to watch. They're not fun.
And since they are fun to watch, you can watch them as well. Saturday, 2:30, right here on today's THV. Well, with this cool, crisp air entering central Arkansas, it's time to start thinking about hockey. Of course, Little Rock is fortunate to be the home of 2 professional teams in the Glacier Cats and the River Blades. Today, the River Blades hosted a little fashion show. The organization unveiled their new jerseys. The home uniform features red, white, and blue colors with the black bear on the front. The road uniform is the same, but with a black background. River Blades first-round pick Rob Weingartner and his wife Renee modeled the jerseys, and the River Blades are excited about Weingartner, and not just for his modeling skills.
His work ethic is tremendous. He's a guy that's going to, you know, his numbers are about 20 goals a year and about 250 minutes in penalties. So, you know, I think he's going to combine just about everything that we sort of want in our style.
I seem to manage to get to 20 goals every year. I don't know how, but whether they